Did you see this video, this story about a double amputee getting shot by cops? A double amputee getting shot by cops. This is a New York Post story. Pulse pounding video. It's not pulse pounding. He's a double amputee. I mean, what is a double amputee going to be able to do to a guy with legs? I mean, a double amputee playing basketball against a guy with legs. What he has a very low chance of winning. A double amputee playing football with someone with legs, how are they going to tackle you? It, you know, the guy's handicapped. He's a double amputee. And the family says he's a double amputee because of another encounter with police that happened in Texas. This one happened in Los Angeles, but the family's saying that he initially lost his legs in another encounter with police in Texas. So this guy had his life taken from him the first time with his legs being amputated to start with, meaning he wasn't living the full life that he was with legs. Maybe he was, I don't know. But I personally would miss my legs. And now he gets shot. Now he gets shot, gets killed by cops. Now, the story is supposedly, first off, the original video is on TikTok here. Here it is. I'll put a link to it, but it's sideways. So, yeah, it's a little hard to watch, but I'll put a link to it so you can watch it sideways if you want. Um, but yeah, here they are. Here's the cops with the guy. There he is. See, you can see him right there, but in this picture, you can see him really well. There he is. He's got no legs. He's got no legs. This guy has no legs. Now, you're a cop. Right now, they're probably what, 8 feet away from the guy? So you can't feel that threatened already because there's something among cops like you're supposed to maintain like 21 feet. There's some bizarre formula they have about 21 feet away. A guy has 2 seconds or something to cover that 21 feet. So they're already closer than what they normally think is safe. And they got tasers. They initially tased the guy. So, well, hold on. Let me start with the story. They get a call that there was a stabbing. And supposedly the stabbing was him stabbing somebody else in a wheelchair. So it wasn't like he stabbed, jumped out of his wheelchair and stabbed somebody walking down the street. He stabbed somebody else who was in a wheelchair or disabled. After stabbing another person that's disabled, there's a phone call that goes to the police, 911. They say there's been a stabbing. Not a shooting, a stabbing. So cops show up. This is the guy right here that did the stabbing. The cops show up, and this is what they find: a double amputee. and he's got a knife. So they tase him twice, supposedly, and it had no effect. So then the guy is quote unquote running away, which there's some brief moments here you can see him quote unquote running. There he is. He's obviously disabled. He's a double amputee. But he see, here he goes. This is how he quote unquote. So you can see the knife flash right there. See the knife in his hand? You can see the knife in his hand there, right there. See it? So he's got a knife. But look at him. They're walking behind the guy. They're not intimidated. They're not scared. They're not running after him because he's a double amputee. The guy's a double amputee. Here he is trying to get away. Then he kind of motions at him with the knife, and then he ends up. It's going to be blocked, but he ends up throwing the knife at the cops. Here he is, a double amputee. See how he's kind of, he's going like this to kind of keep him away. You know, kind of get back, and he ends up throwing the knife at the cops, and that's when the cops shoot him. That's when the cops blast him after he throws a knife at him. So you have a double amputee with a knife, throws it at a cop, and they shoot him to death. I mean, how inept, how unskilled, how dumb, how uncaring do you have to be as a human being to kill someone who throws a knife at you? He threw the knife. He disarmed himself. When he threw the knife at the cops, he basically disarmed himself. So he's got no weapon. He basically disarmed himself by throwing a knife at the cops, and they shoot him anyway. And once again, it shows how dumb cops are. If you have a knife, okay. I used to when I was a kid, I used to love those throwing stars and throwing knives. But a throwing knife is a specially made knife. When you see these things in the movie where they pull out a pocket knife or something and they grab it by the blade and then they throw it and it sticks in a guy, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. A throwing knife has to be specifically balanced. It's made in a way where it's perfectly balanced. You can put it on your finger and it won't go either way. So when you throw it, it goes end over end. And even then, you still might not get it to stick into a tree or something. You have to throw it correctly with the right spin to have it stick into something. And it's a perfectly balanced knife. If you throw a kitchen knife, the handle is heavier than the blade and it'll always go down. It won't even do anything. You're more than likely to get hit by the handle than you are the blade. So even if someone's throwing a kitchen knife at you, chances of you being killed or injured with a kitchen knife being thrown at you is close to zero. Not to mention, this guy's only weapon was the knife, and now he's got no weapon. So you got a stabbing. You got reported that there was a stabbing. You showed up there to find the guy who did the stabbing. You found him. He threw the weapon at you. So now he's disarmed, and you kill him. I mean, just absolutely how inept are these guys? How scared are they? What cowards? Cowards. Absolute cowards. I feared for my life when a double amputee threw a kitchen knife at me. I feared for my life when a double amputee threw some cutlery. I was in fear for my life. There was a double amputee, and he threw something at me. I'll tell you what, if I'm on a jury and these guys show up and they tell me they were scared for their life when a double amputee with a knife was threatening them, I'm not buying it, man. This is the guy. I'm not buying it. I'm sorry. I'm not buying it, man. I don't believe that you would be so threatened by a double amputee with a knife who throws it at you, who disarms himself. So, as I've said many times, the cops are not here to help you. The cops, first off, he was involved supposedly in Texas with cops. His legs were amputated. Now he's involved with these cops in LA, get shot to death. So how were they here to help him? And he's an amputee. So the first time when he had legs, well, maybe you could go, well, I was scared, he could have jumped at me, whatever. Now he's a double amputee. Now he's got no legs, or he's got half a leg on either side. And you're going to take care of him by doing what? You're going to help the community, him being part of the community that you're there to protect and serve, supposedly. See, that's the lie when they say we're here to protect and serve. They're not here to protect and serve. These cops are not here to protect and serve. Well, hold on. There was a song by a rap group called The Coup. And in it, this guy named Boots says, they're here to protect and serve the master. These guys are here to protect and serve the congressman. These cops are here to protect and serve the uh, the assemblyman. These cops are here to protect and serve the senator. These guys are here to protect and serve the mayor. They don't care about you. They don't care about a double amputee. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about you. They don't care about your story. There's no there's no heart. There's no morality. There's no measure of kindness. There's no measure of caring in cops. There's nothing like that. These guys are not here to help you. They're not here to help me. They're not here to help the community. They're not here to help this poor guy who's a double amputee. They're not here to help you. And they proved it by shooting a double amputee. How did that help him?